took it and ran with it. But then I think I started to realize then after talking to a few people, I was like, okay, this is a very competitive industry and it's a very competitive market when I came into. So you got to figure out a way to separate yourself from the others.
Well, Isaac, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for being here today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. If you don't mind just starting a little bit, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, kind of what brought you to Fifth Wheel, 7, 8 years ago? You tell me.
Yeah, going on 9 now. So
okay, yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, give me a little bit of background on how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't really have any background in logistics or supply chain.
Yeah.
Didn't really go to school for it at all.
Yeah.
My background or my major actually is in sociology with a minor in criminal justice.
Yeah. You're planning on going into law?
Yeah, actually law enforcement, was planning on that.
Yeah.
But life,
life happened.
Yeah, exactly. took a couple of different turns and had to get a job right out of college because I got married too, and wife wasn't able to work first couple of years. She's had, long story short, 9 knee surgeries on one knee. So
crazy.
Yeah. So that happened, and then so I ended up just finding the soonest full-time job I could find, but not a lot were offering that in the field I wanted to go into. Unfortunately, started working at a junkyard where I came here.
Okay.
I was just kind of pulling parts off cars and working in a yard and shipping and receiving there, just general labor stuff around.
Okay. So you were like slightly adjacent to the logistics industry there.
Slightly, yeah, but I didn't realize what I was getting into when I came here, that's for sure.
I don't know if anybody realized what they were getting into when they started in logistics.
Yeah, exactly.
You've been at Fifth Wheel for 9 years now. You also played sports your whole life growing up. Can you tell me about that? What sports you played, what sports you played in college, that sort of thing?
I basically just played basketball my entire life.
Yeah.
That was the only sport I really played. I did a little, your typical T-ball growing up and all that as a kid.
Yeah, Pee-wee soccer.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I gravitated towards basketball definitely more so. Did all that through middle school, high school, and then I did 1 year in college actually. I actually walked on at Grand Valley and played there 1 year. It's a great experience though. I think it's taught a lot of different life lessons, that's for sure.
If you think back, like if you take yourself back to the GVSU locker room or high school locker room before a basketball game, which do you think is more competitive as of today? The freight industry or let's say college sports?
That's a great question. To be honest, I'd say it probably would be the freight industry just because of how saturated the market is with how many people there are.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, like in the locker room and in college especially, like you're all teammates.
Right.
But if everyone's honest, everyone's competing for a spot.
Yeah, you're competing for a spot in college, you're competing for a spot maybe in the pros, whatever it is.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's a little more confined there because it's only you're limited to 12 to 15 people, where this is, I'm just taking a stab at it, probably thousands if I had to guess of brokers out there. So I would definitely say the freight industry is probably more competitive, that's for sure.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
When you first started in freight, after your first couple of weeks here, were you like, oh, there's an obvious competitive aspect to this, I can take sort of my competitive side and apply it? Or did it take you a while to sort of connect those dots?
That took me a while.
Okay, yeah.
Only because I didn't know anything about the industry at all, what it all pertained. I didn't know a lot of aspects about what I was getting into, so the competitive part of me didn't even think to come out. Especially, I thought when I first came here, it was very corporate world type structure, and I was like, oh, okay.
Compared to working in a junkyard.
Exactly, exactly. So I was like, okay, this is a lot different than what I'm used to, so I'm never going to show that side of me again.
Yeah.
But I was dead wrong.
Yeah.
So
when do you feel like it clicked that you were like, oh, I can apply my competitive nature here?
Getting the first couple of customers and couple of calls that I was on, talking to actual customers, with them telling oh, hey, I get tons of calls like this every day.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, why'd you answer mine?
Exactly. So, and then they're they never really flat out asked the question to me. I don't think they never said why should I work with you? But I could tell that's what they were getting at. It's I'm getting all these calls per day. So, I mean, what's different about this and all that?
Why are you so special kind of thing? Yeah.
Never really had an answer for that either, but I just kind of was a persistent and a nuisance, I guess.
Yeah. A respectful nuisance.
Exactly. Until they gave me a shot and just kind of took it and ran with it. But then I started to realize then after talking to a few people, I was like, okay, this is a very competitive industry and it's a very competitive market when I came into. So you got to figure out a way to separate yourself from the others.
Absolutely. Yeah. What about playing sports growing up do you think prepared you best for this role? What things do you feel were ingrained in you as a natural athlete that you so good at sales in general?
I would definitely say probably learning to handle rejection and failure. Because anyone that plays sports, I mean, nothing ever goes your way.
Yeah, you don't always
100%
win.
of the time. Exactly. You don't always win. Injuries set you back or certain obstacles come your way, but how do you handle those situations? It sounds cliche, but it's very true because I feel like that in life in general, it's like that. So I feel like that definitely translated from sports to this industry. Just learning how to handle setbacks.
Yeah, because I mean, if you run away from rejection, you're not going to do well in sports or in sales.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, you can't be afraid to fail or fall on your face a few times.
Yeah, exactly. Sales is very competitive, and that obviously relates to athletes who grow up playing sports, but obviously there's still athletes who struggle in the industry and don't do well. Not everybody makes it in this industry. It's very, very competitive. Why do you think certain athletes still struggle in this industry? Like, why doesn't every athlete kill it in sales?
I think for me, what I've noticed is like, if you can't think on your feet, be able to adapt quickly and maneuver, like this one strategy or course of action doesn't work, you being able to figure out, okay, maybe I got to try something else, or one size fits all for every customer. So I feel like it's a lot of adaptability and learning how to navigate, learning that, all right, well, this worked for this customer. Now it's not working for this other customer. So how do I change this response, or how do I change
approach?
How do I change my approach to fit their needs, essentially. Trying to figure that out.
No, that makes sense. Similar to like changing your approach depending on like who you're playing in sports. Like if you kind of know how a team operates or whatever. What position did you play in basketball?
I was a guard.
Okay. Do you, just sort of a fun question, do you think there's particular positions in basketball that would do better in sales based on the skill sets that they have to have in the game?
That's a fun question. Maybe, I don't know. I just get in my head just because I was a lot smaller.
Okay.
Growing up compared to everyone in college. So like,
I mean, you're very tall compared to me, but I guess you're not like 7'5".
Right. But in my own biased opinion, like guards probably, because it's like you always have that chip on your shoulder that you're smaller compared to everyone else.
And that's true. You have a little bit of something to prove.
Exactly. Yeah. I always carried that growing up because I was not really the biggest person ever. My own biased opinion, I would say guards just because you carry that little extra chip maybe, but who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. Not to say that all the other positions wouldn't also do well in sales.
Exactly.
we won't have any biases here. Yeah. Do you think there's things that you do or that other successful sales reps do that differentiate you because you sort of practice them regularly?
Nowadays, like everyone wants to know where their stuff is at all times. You order a package off Amazon, you literally can track that thing like from when it's packaged in the box to when it gets on the truck.
I can literally see it in my neighborhood driving to my house.
I think I took that approach into, okay, how can I take that approach into my job that I do now? And so I think like being responsive and being over communicative, learning how to do those skills, they've done a lot for me essentially, because it's definitely separated me from other people. Customers have said sometimes, but now I'm not always perfect and I can't do everything at all times, like be available 24/7.
Right.
I mean, sometimes some customers do expect that, but
that's why you have a team.
Yeah, exactly. But just being adaptable too. I feel like just not having a closed mind, being open-minded to new ideas, new approaches, as you said earlier. Yeah, because I feel like the minute I got a handle on a situation one day or a certain approach, like next thing it changes overnight. Yeah. And so I gotta, learn something new every day, basically.
Gotta be ready to pivot quickly.
Exactly.
If you were in front of a bunch of athletes right now and they were asking you about sales as a career path, just generally speaking, freight sales, sure, but like sales generally speaking, what would you say to them as in terms of like advice, or if you think that is a good career path for them?
Definitely to take a look at yourself in the mirror and understand like, hey, like, can I handle being rejected 95 to 99% of the time?
Yeah.
Am I going to be able to handle that? Yep. Because in all reality, sometimes, you like those days are terrible. Like,
where you just get no wins.
Exactly. Yeah. No wins for the day, or week by week, you're just not getting any traction. You're hearing no constantly. Just be able to look at yourself in the mirror and just say, hey, can I actually accept that? And I move forward and, have the fortitude to keep going. The other thing I'd say is just be a sponge as well. Mm-hmm. Soak up as much information as possible. Ask questions. Be curious. Don't think you know it all.
That applies to almost any job, I would say. Yeah. I mean, I think that's just great advice for new grads, generally speaking.
Yeah, those are the main things I'd say, because those have helped me a long way, and they still do to this day. Yeah.
So. All right, we're going to end the podcast with some rapid fire this or that questions. Okay. A basketball scenario or a freight scenario. You have to tell me which one you'd rather deal with for forever.
Okay. All right.
So would you rather deal with the pregame jitters or the first cold call of the day?
Pre-game jitters.
All right.
100%.
Would you rather deal with an overtime game or an end-of-year push to try to get your volume up?
End-of-year push. That's fun.
Okay.
I like that challenge.
Coach yelling at you or customer ghosting you?
I'd rather deal with being yelled at than being ghosted.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, because the ghosting is like you're anxious.
You have no choice. Yeah.
You're just like wondering, okay, what are they thinking? What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, why are they answering?
Yeah.
I would much rather be yelled at.
Yeah, that's in some ways constructive criticism.
Exactly.
You can work with that. Home court advantage or lane details from a prospect?
Lane details.
Yeah.
Details matter.
Yeah.
For sure in this industry.
Airball or a customer hanging up on you?
Customer hanging up.
Airball's way too embarrassing.
Yeah.
Team captain or top commission earner?
Top commissioner.
Okay, I guess that one was a little too easy.
Yeah. Makes it easier in life. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Go get back to moving some freight.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for listening to Inside Freight by Fifth Wheel Freight, where we break down the logistics topics that matter to brokers, shippers, and carriers. FWF is a third-party logistics provider headquartered in Grand Rapids, Michigan, specializing in truckload, LTL, drayage, rail, overdimensional, and expedited freight across the U.S. and Canada. To learn more, visit FWF.com or follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube.